are off and running. Welcome to Jets Post Game Live. I'm Brian Custer alongside Chad Cascadden, Ray Lucas, the coach Mike Westhoff. He's back with us as the Jets lose to the Green Bay Packers 31-24. And coach, these are one of those games as a coach, boy, that make you sick to your gut.
This is a long plane ride home, Brian. This is a tough one because they could win this game. You know, I thought at halftime, right before half, they were going to put this to would have made Green Bay really tough to get back in it. And then they blew that opportunity, and then as things developed, they're going to be sick. This is one that's going to make you sick when you look back and break it down.
They were 21. It was 21-9 at that point, as you talked about. Really, when you look at this game, it boils down to a couple plays. That play right before the half, they're up 21-9, and they're knocking on the door. Geno Smith gets hit, throws that interception. Green Bay goes basically 97 yards in a minute 44 and makes it 21-16 right before the half. That hurts you, and then at the very end, you get 4th and 4. Great throw by Geno on a rope. Even better catch by Jeremy Curley. And then you get the timeout. It comes from Marty Morningweg. And basically, when you look at the NFL rule, it says that only a head coach and a player can call a timeout. But you say, hey, look, I've done it before.
I have. I have. What happens sometimes is that everybody's trying to call a timeout. You know, I've done it, especially on special teams plays. Man, I know a goof. I've done a timeout. And what they see is there's the official turns around and he sees kind of all of us making the call. And he's not just looking what was the head coach doing it, and he gives you the timeout. So sometimes it does it happens that way. But technically, by rule, it shouldn't have happened. So Marty shouldn't have done it.
So in other words, late in the game, the official really doesn't have time to turn around. He's just thinking as a team, this is a team decision. Here's what the rule states. It says the referee shall suspend play while the ball is dead and declare a charged team timeout upon the request for a timeout by the head coach or any player to any official. All right, that's the rule. Ray, give me your thoughts on this football game.
Well, I got to agree. When you're up 21, to 3, I hate the prevent defense before half. 1 minute and 44 seconds. They're on their side of the field on the 20-yard line around that area, and they go right down the field. Why? Because you're dropping 7 into coverage, and you're letting them throw underneath and tackling, and the Jets got beat on defense a couple times, big plays down the field. That, to me, like you said, Brian, was one of the biggest things going in 21-16. A lot different than going 21-9. Again, 1 minute and 40 seconds. It's Aaron Rodgers. You can't take the foot off the gas pedal. You got to stop it. There's a lot of selfish play there was today in the secondary, and the offense just after the first or the middle of the second quarter, 3 points. I mean, it was like they were never even calling the same game. Geno Smith throwing the football, lacked. The one pass he intercepted in the first quarter is not Geno's fault. Sudfeld has to knock that ball down. When the ball's up there and you can't catch it, you got to knock it down, Brian. But this is a game that the Jets could have won.
Chad?
You know what I didn't like? I didn't like the fact that they went in that prevent defense, but you know what? Put a spy back there. And if you put a spy there and you're watching Rodgers, which he's very good at getting out, then you got that guy rushing up and stopping him from throwing that big pass. And we had no pressure. The Jets had no pressure on this guy. He was able to throw it all over the field.
In the second half. I mean, the first half, they were getting after it. And in the second half, they just couldn't get to him. And I'm not sure if it's because of the play call and 1, 2, 3, get the ball out of your hands or what. But again, when you look at this as a football game, you got to take it 2 halves. First half, Jets outstanding offensively and defensively. In the second half, they fell at the wayside.
Well, and, you lost some discipline. I mean, when you talk about, especially down there in the red zone, when they give up that touchdown to Green Bay, and then you get the unsportsmanlike penalty, but then you get Muhammad Wilkerson thrown out for throwing. Why are you throwing punches at a guy with a helmet on? I mean, I don't understand. What are you throwing punches at? The guy's got his helmet on, you're throwing punches. So he gets thrown out of the game. That was one thing that killed you. And then Jordy Nelson is their big guy. I didn't understand why you rolled maybe some coverage over Jordy. And why is D. Milliner, a guy who's coming back from a high ankle sprain, you've got him on Jordy Nelson? That one was a little puzzling.
And they got the rookie Pryor on helping out. Look, it was clear that Rodgers found out who is the weak point here in this defense. He went after Allen for a little while, and then he realized, you know what? There's my weakness right there. And he popped Miller a couple of times, and there you go.
I mean, on that double move, Coach, it was over at the snap of the football.